We haven't sat down alone with Jehovah, done our personal study. We barely made it to the meeting, but we weren't prepared for it to get the full flavor of everything that's going on, because we heard that roar that maybe we didn't recognize as the devil's roll, and we ran in the wrong direction. Verse 9 says that there's an entire association of brothers. An entire association of brothers. Of what value is that to us in coping with tribulations? Well, let's think about that lion again. Any of us here ever go to the circus? Really, the brothers still come through here? Yeah? Anyone ever go to the circus? Oh, all right, good. Imagine you pulled into the parking lot of the circus. You just pulled in. And you get out and you're walking into the circus and everybody else is running out. And they're saying, go back. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. The lion is out of the cage. Go back. The lion is out of the cage. Now here's a question for you. Where is the one place you think you can be and be absolutely safe from the attack of that lion? Now if you're thinking the cage, you're absolutely right. Why the cage? Well, the idea is, if you go to where the lion escaped from, is he going back? He's not going back to the cage. He wants to get out of there. So if you go to where the lion escaped from, you'll be safe there. Who's the lion? Satan the devil is the roaring lion. The idea is, if you go to where the lion escaped from, he's not going back, you'll be safe there. But where did Satan leave? He left Jehovah's organization. Is he going back? He's not going back there. The idea is, if you go there, you'll be safe. Peter says, under inspiration, that there's a whole entire association of brothers that are going through tribulations just like you are. Take advantage of that. Stay close to Jehovah's organization. Here's something else that can help us if we keep it in mind in relation to our circumstances and how to cope with tribulation. A second thought is support. You know where that support can come from sometimes to help us through tribulation? That support, like our Watchtower says today, can come from the elders. But amongst ourselves, we've got good support too. Notice how that's depicted for us in a verse that you may not have thought it's depicted to us in Isaiah chapter 11. Isaiah chapter 11. Now we're familiar with verses 6 through 9, so our goal here is not to read that entire passage, but for you to think about it for just a moment. Here in Isaiah chapter 11, verses 6 through 9, we are shown that in the new world, there's going to be peace among the animal groups, animals of various kinds, getting along together, unlike we see today. But we know also, don't we, that these verses are not just about animals. It's about the transformation that people will make, starting even now. And what would be responsible for that? Well, verse 9 says that it will be the very knowledge of Jehovah. Now, I'd like you to help me with something to see how we can gain comfort through our tribulation. Just by a show of hands, let's look at verse number 6 together. And if your verse 6 reads this way, please raise your hand. Follow it closely. And the wolf will actually become a male lamb. Who has that? Okay, no hands. Well, the reason we have no hands is because it does not say that the wolf becomes a lamb, does it? Here's why it doesn't say that. A wolf is a wolf, and a lamb is a lamb. In other words, we need Brother Wolf. We need Brother Lamb. If you look a little further, Brother Bull is in there, Brother Cobra. We need Brother Wolf. When we're putting one of these kingdom halls together, Brother Wolf will not let us pay a cent more than we're supposed to. We need Brother Wolf. We need Brother Bull. The Bull gets things done. Lumber company says, hey, lumber won't be there on time. Brother Bull says, oh, yes, it will. We only have a few days to do this. We need it on time. Brother Bull makes things happen. And of course, Brother Lamb is there too, because he makes it so we can all get along with one another. Keeps us all peaceful and everything. Here's where the problem is and how it can work against us handling our tribulations. When we start expecting Brother Wolf to be Brother Lamb, and Brother Bull to be Brother Wolf, and everybody to do things the way we would like to see it done, we kind of mess the whole thing up. Jehovah says it can all work with each individual personality, the differences in backgrounds and cultures. It can all work together. Because here's what you're going to find out. That when you're facing your tribulation in the flesh, your plague of your heart, it's going to be the most unlikely brother or sister that says to you that one thing that you never thought would come from them. Man, I never thought Brother Bull would give me just what I need. And that allows for us all to grow over time. Brother Wolf may need a little more maturing in one area. Over time, it'll happen. But in the meantime, Jehovah can use him, even in his present state, to give us what we need to cope with our tribulation. Isn't that encouraging to you? Allows us to know that Jehovah has brought us together in a unique way. So let's not lose sight of that. Here's a third thing to help you with coping with our tribulations. Do not wait for your circumstances to change before you decide to step up your service to Jehovah. Satan wants us to think that everything's got to be ideal before we can do more in Jehovah's service. Don't wait for your circumstances to change. Where you are right now, give Jehovah all you can and look for ways to do more. Don't rob yourself of joy by saying, I'll be happy when. You heard some say that? I'll be happy when I become an elder. I'll be happy when I become a pioneer. I'll be happy when I get a part on the assembly. I'll be happy when I have children. I'll be happy when I get rid of my children. And on it goes. So the circumstances are there and they're challenging indeed. Now, some say, well, Brother Youngblood, I've tried to get support from my brothers. I've tried to move on with my service, but you don't understand. Brother so-and-so hurt my feelings. Sister so-and-so hurt my feelings. Or, worse yet, I went to someone in confidence. Next thing I knew, it was all over the circuit. And it was a private conversation. But do we stop getting comfort through our tribulation because of terrible things like that? Anyone here ever get food poisoning? Anyone ever have that? Now, for those of us that have had food poisoning, here's what we're sure of. We are going to die. That's what we know. We're going to die. But we all raised our hands just then, didn't we? We didn't die. We're still here. We're still here. But maybe we did say, not at that restaurant anymore. Or maybe we did say, did you cook that all the way? We didn't say, that's it, no more food for me. I'm never going to eat again because that was a horrible experience. Thought I was going to die. So we allow ourselves to embrace our brothers and sisters the way Jehovah does. Whatever source of irritation our brothers are to us, just remember that if Jehovah chose to, we're that same source of irritation to him. But he puts up with us, all 7+ million of us, all the time. As we round out our understanding of how we can be comforted, please look at these very, very motivating words here in Proverbs chapter 24. If we've ever felt worthless, like we've just messed up so bad, that even in our current tribulation we just won't be able to cope. If you felt that way, look at the words here and see if there's a measure of comfort for you personally. In Proverbs 24, verse 16, for the righteous one may fall even 7 times, and he will certainly get up, but the wicked ones will be made to stumble by calamity. Here's how encouraging these words are. Did you notice who it said would fall 7 times? The righteous. If it said the wicked, we could accept that with no problem. And the verse does say when they fall, it's calamity. But it says the righteous fall 7 times. Individuals like you and I will have challenges and difficulties, and at times we may have a setback. We may fall, as it were. But it says that the righteous, even though they fall, yes, the righteous can fall, but when they do, what happens? They get up. They fall 7 times. How many times do they get up? 7. They fall 20 times. How many times do they get up? 20. Here's what's encouraging. Our righteous standing with Jehovah is not determined by how many times we fall, but it's determined by whether or not we get up. Don't let the tribulations keep you down. Jehovah provides, through meetings like this, and all of this encouragement and support of our daily Bible reading and his organization, he provides exactly what we need. We can gain comfort through our tribulation. As we close, I'll ask you a question Jesus asked his audience after one of his talks. You'll see this question in Matthew chapter 13. Matthew 13. And after giving many illustrations and identifying how we can look at the kingdom and benefit from it, Jesus asked this question in verse 51. Did you get the sense of all these things? They said to him, yes. Then he said to them, that being the case, every public instructor, when taught respecting the kingdom of the heavens, is like a man, a householder, who brings out of his treasure store things new and old. The question is, did you get the sense of all these things this morning? In our brief discussion, did you get the sense of what it means to gain comfort through your tribulation? No doubt your answer, as was theirs, is yes. Verse 52, perhaps you heard some things that for your treasure store was new. Perhaps you've heard things that are familiar to you. In either case, treasure them and continue to gain comfort in all your tribulation.